Have you ever felt the strange sensation that something is watching from the darkness? Not a creature, not an alien civilization, something far larger. Something so massive that entire galaxies cannot escape its influence. Right now, as you listen to this, our galaxy is moving through space at more than 1,000,000 miles per hour. The Earth is moving, the Sun is moving, the Milky Way is moving. And for decades, astronomers have been trying to answer a terrifying question. What exactly are we falling toward? Because somewhere in the darkness of the cosmos lies a mysterious region known as the Great Attractor, a place so enormous, so powerful, that it appears to be pulling entire galaxy clusters across hundreds of millions of light years. And the most unsettling part? Nobody has ever seen it directly. For most of human history, we imagined the universe as a calm and orderly place. The stars appeared fixed. The galaxies seemed scattered randomly across an endless ocean of darkness. But as our instruments improved, scientists began noticing something deeply strange. Galaxies were not simply expanding away from one another as expected. Many of them were drifting toward a specific region of space, not slowly, not subtly, but with incredible speed. The Milky Way itself is rushing through the universe at roughly 600 kilometers per second. That is more than 2 million kilometers every hour. And we are not moving alone. Thousands of neighboring galaxies appear to be heading in roughly the same direction. It is as if an invisible hand is pulling everything toward a destination hidden beyond our sight. At first, scientists suspected errors in their measurements. The universe is unimaginably large. Calculations involving distances between galaxies are notoriously difficult. But the data kept returning the same answer. Something was there. Something massive. Something exerting a gravitational influence on scales almost beyond comprehension. To understand why this discovery was so unsettling, we first need to understand gravity itself. Gravity is the architect of the cosmos. It forms stars, it shapes galaxies, it binds solar systems together. Every object with mass creates gravity. The larger the mass, the stronger the pull. A planet can hold a moon. A star can hold planets. A galaxy can hold billions of stars. But what happens when the mass becomes so enormous that entire clusters of galaxies begin moving toward it? The answer is difficult to imagine. Because the object influencing our region of the universe is not merely large, it is colossal, beyond anything human beings encounter in everyday experience. Beyond mountains, beyond planets, beyond stars, beyond even galaxies. In the 1970s and 1980s, astronomers began mapping the motions of nearby galaxies with increasing precision. The results were shocking. Instead of moving solely with the expansion of the universe, galaxies possessed additional motion, a strange motion, a directed motion. Scientists call this a peculiar velocity, and thousands of galaxies shared it, like leaves floating toward a hidden drain. The farther researchers looked, the more apparent the pattern became. Entire galaxy groups appeared to be flowing toward one enormous gravitational destination. Eventually, astronomers gave this mysterious region a name: the Great Attractor. A simple name, yet one that concealed one of the deepest mysteries in modern astronomy. The Great Attractor lies roughly 150 to 250 million light-years away. That distance sounds enormous, because it is. The light reaching us from that region today began its journey long before dinosaurs vanished from Earth. Yet despite decades of study, astronomers still cannot fully explain what exists there. Part of the problem comes from our location. The Milky Way itself blocks our view. Between us and the Great Attractor lies a dense wall of stars, gas, and cosmic dust. Astronomers call this area the Zone of Avoidance, an ominous name, because it describes a region where observation becomes extremely difficult. Imagine trying to study a distant city while standing inside a dense forest. The trees obscure your view. You know something exists beyond them. You can see indirect evidence, lights, movement, shadows, but the city itself remains hidden. That is exactly the challenge facing astronomers. The Great Attractor may be pulling us toward itself, yet our own galaxy prevents us from seeing it clearly. As observations improved, scientists discovered something even stranger. The Great Attractor might not be a single object at all. Instead, it appears to be part of a vast network of gravitational structures stretching across hundreds of millions of light years. Gigantic clusters of galaxies, superclusters, immense rivers of matter flowing through space. The universe, it turns out, is not randomly scattered. It resembles a gigantic cosmic web. Galaxies gather along enormous filaments. Between them lie colossal voids, regions so empty they contain almost nothing. The contrast is staggering. Some areas are packed with unimaginable amounts of matter. Others are nearly empty. Together, they create a structure larger than anything humanity had ever imagined. And somewhere within this vast cosmic landscape lies the source of the attraction. Then came an even more astonishing discovery. Beyond the Great Attractor lies another giant, a structure known as the Shapley Supercluster, one of the most massive concentrations of galaxies ever observed, containing tens of thousands of galaxies and an almost incomprehensible amount of mass. Some astronomers now believe that much of the motion once attributed solely to the Great Attractor may actually be influenced by Shapley as well. In other words, the thing pulling us may itself be responding to something even larger, a cosmic chain reaction extending across unimaginable distances. And suddenly, the mystery became even deeper. Because if the Great Attractor is not the final destination, what is? Human beings naturally seek endings, boundaries, final answers. We want to find the center of things, the source, the origin. But the universe rarely provides such comfort. Every time we discover a larger structure, another one appears beyond it. Every time we identify a cause, we uncover an even greater cause behind it. The Great Attractor embodies this unsettling truth. It reminds us that our cosmic maps remain incomplete, that vast regions of reality still exist beyond our understanding, and perhaps beyond our ability to ever fully observe. Imagine standing on a beach at night. Far out on the horizon, something enormous moves beneath the water. You cannot see its full shape, only the waves it creates, only the disturbances reaching the shore. The Great Attractor is similar. Astronomers cannot observe it directly with complete clarity. Instead, they study its effects, the motions it creates, the galaxies it influences, the invisible fingerprints left across the universe. And from those fingerprints emerges the outline of something truly immense. Perhaps the most humbling aspect of this mystery is scale. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars. For most of human history, that number alone felt unimaginable. Yet within the larger cosmic structure, our galaxy becomes insignificant. Just one among trillions, a tiny participant in gravitational currents flowing across the universe. Entire galaxy clusters become drifting particles, superclusters become threads, and human civilization becomes something smaller still. A brief flicker on a small world orbiting an ordinary star. This realization often creates a peculiar feeling. Not fear in the traditional sense, but cosmic vertigo. The sensation of confronting distances so vast that the mind struggles to process them. The Great Attractor is frightening not because it threatens us directly. It is frightening because it reveals how little control we possess. We are passengers on a moving galaxy, traveling through a cosmic landscape we barely understand, pulled by forces operating across hundreds of millions of light years. Forces that existed long before humanity appeared, and that will continue long after humanity is gone. Yet, despite all of this, the mystery remains unsolved. Astronomers continue mapping hidden galaxies. New telescopes peer deeper into the Zone of Avoidance. Advanced surveys reveal structures previously invisible. Piece by piece, the picture becomes clearer, but not complete. Perhaps it never will, because every answer uncovers larger questions. Every discovery reveals deeper unknowns. The universe does not become smaller when explored. It becomes larger, stranger, more mysterious. Tonight, as Earth turns silently beneath the stars, the journey continues. The Milky Way continues moving. The local group continues moving. Galaxy clusters continue flowing through space, all participating in a gravitational dance whose full choreography remains hidden. Somewhere beyond the veil of stars and dust, beyond the limits of easy observation, beyond the comforting boundaries of human intuition, something is pulling. Something immense, something ancient. Not a monster, not a machine, not an intelligence, but a reminder. A reminder that the universe is far bigger than our imagination, and that even now, entire galaxies are drifting toward a destination we still do not fully understand. The Great Attractor remains hidden in the darkness, not because it is impossible to find, but because the universe is still keeping some of its biggest secrets. And perhaps that is the most unsettling discovery of all.